Alright guys, here we go with the next episode of 3-Star My Bag. We are doing the bag of DGV player BruceMo. So I asked him about his name, and he actually just changed it, but Bruce is his middle name. A lot of people call him by his middle name, so he went with Bruce, and then MO is the first two letters of his last name. So that is where that name comes from. He recently got Enzo, so he asked me to do Northern Breeze, which is the last remaining course that he needs to get all the 3 stars. So hopefully we can help him out. I'm excited about Northern Breeze. That's a course I like to play a lot, so we'll see how we do. First, we're going to take a look at his bag, and I'll kind of offer up my assessment and suggestions on where I think he can improve. He doesn't have the extra slots, so we're playing with a disc short, but I definitely respect that. Getting majority of his disc, I don't think he's put any money into the game. So here we go. All right, we'll start with the putters. He's got the Luna and the Harp. He's got the Accurate Glide Harp, so a little bit longer than the Accurate Sticky, what I'm used to, but still a great disc. The Luna is not something that I'm super familiar with, but he actually said that he throws in with the Fuse. So anytime I have a throw-in, I'll be using the Fuse. Luna I could just use for, simple short putts. The other mid-range is the Trust, which is very similar to the Warship. So very similar mid-ranges that he bags. And then same with his fairways. He's got the Glide Sapphire and then the Accurate Windbreak Explorer. I obviously bagged the Accurate Roll Explorer, but a lot of similarities there. Again, that's just like the last one. The one recommendation I have for him right off the bat is whatever your ace disc is, I just like to have a roll one. Some people get away with not having it, but I feel like you can just get a lot more aggressive when you're going for aces or for throw-ins with a roll disc. I know the water skip and the windbreak tend to stop a little quicker than a glide disc, but still nothing compared to a roll disc, and you're never going to be able to get as aggressive as you can with a roll disc. So maybe consider like a Accurate Roll Explorer, or maybe use that free spot that he hasn't paid for yet to throw in like an Accurate Roll Sapphire or an Accurate Roll Musket or a Sampo or some sort of awesome fairway throw-in disc that has a roll feature. He does have the Windbreak Sapphire, which I'm sure is an awesome disc. Again, I think you can get away with having a roll instead of a windbreak in that fairway slot, but I'm sure there's a lot of holes that's an awesome disc to have. I'm very intrigued by that Water Skip Musket. I'm probably not going to be using it much on Northern Breeze, but I think that would be an awesome disc to have. The Musket's never one that I bagged, but it is a great disc and people love it. And I'll bet that's pretty nice to have on some of the Water Skip holes that you just don't need a driver on. My biggest glaring issue with his drivers is that recoil. It's just not something, once I started getting better drivers, the recoil was quick to come out of my bag. Especially a fade windbreak recoil. I'm curious. I haven't asked him about it yet. Maybe there's certain holes that he just really likes that disc on, but I think there's lots of opportunity to take that one out and get something better in the bag. As far as the rest of his drivers, obviously I love the Glide Roll, the Glide Skip. Those are a must in my opinion. I think the Water Skip and the Windbreak Rive can be interchangeable. He just needs a Glide Water Skip, whether that be a Gold or a Rive or something a little more understable. But then I think that can replace the windbreak and free up yet another spot. So that would be my recommendation with his drivers. So to recap, some sort of roll fairway throw-in disc, a Glide Water Skip distance driver, maybe consider a skip fairway, definitely get that recoil out. Maybe consider like something understable like a Turn Glide Rive, or underscape like Skippy Flippy like a Paradigm, or a Glide Skip Captain, or something like that. That just a straight skippy disc, turn skip Rive. That's another option. So lots of options. I think there's 2 or 3 discs that he can add to his bag to make it way more competitive. But here we go. Let's get into the round of Northern Breeze. In order to 3-star Northern Breeze, you got to get 9 under. Just looking over some of the discs, that Felon's pretty sweet. The King, nothing I'll ever bag, but definitely an awesome looking disc. And if you don't have other discs that can compare, it definitely would come in handy at times. But still some cool looking discs. If I'm going to try to 3-star Northern Breeze, I'm going to get an ace right off the start, but I want to show my safe line. So I usually throw the accurate sticky harp with this line. So I'm going to throw it with this glide harp and just take some power off. But I put that top chevron right there. I'm going to power this down and just put a little bit of hyzer, try to hit the center of that ice, and then it should go right up to the basket. So that's just an easy birdie. Whenever you need a birdie on that hole, that's my line that I use. But as far as ace lines, so I usually throw a skip sapphire, but we're trying it with the skip rye since it's the only big skip disc he has, and super powered down. As you can see, even if you miss, it's going to skip up here and stay somewhat safe. So that's why I love this ace run, something that Marcolini showed me, and it can be done with the glide skip rive too. So here we go, very, very powered down. Try to hit the center of this ice so it skips right up and in the basket. So we're going to start with an ace just to increase our chances, just in case we happen to get a par later on. So hole 2, I like to throw the Vandal on a wide route, but sometimes I'll throw the harp. So I'm going to go with my harp line, since that's a disc that he has, especially in this wind. I feel like I can turn it a lot harder and let that wind push it back. My biggest fear with this line is that it goes off to the right and goes OB. But with this wind, I really like this harp line. So there you go, easy tap-in birdie. It's a great line in most winds. Hole 3, this is a great example of why I like a roll fairway, not only for throw-ins and ace runs, but also so it stops sooner. This is a tough shot. I'm going to try to put it more off to the left than I normally do, just because if I didn't, oh, stop. You can see I just like the roll disc a lot better on here. You can cut the corner a little bit and it'll stop before getting down into those rocks and trees. 73 feet. Here we go with the fuse. I suck with the fuse. See if we can get this. Oh man, I got lucky. I was almost restarting. I know I have a shot to gain, but I didn't want to, or to give, but I didn't want to give it on that hole. Here we go. This is glide sapphire for me. I go middle chevron just under this rock. Then I like to adjust my hyzer, but you can't adjust your aim point depending on the wind. But I just kind of do more hyzer. This one wind's about 2 discs of hyzer almost. This looks good. It's off to the left a little bit. With that aim point, with a 3 right to left wind, you pull straight down and the sapphire is money. Here we go, another testy fuse. See if I can get a little. Oh, that was much better than the last one. So get another birdie. Glide sapphire is great on that hole. This is a hole that I run every time. I don't even know a safe line, but usually it works out for me. Glide, skip, sapphire, slide to the left, backhand, that little kind of hole up there with the bottom chevron. We're going to do a bunch of hyzer, or anhyzer. Oh, dang it, that one tree. This is the danger of that line. If you miss that tree on either side, you're safe and you get a birdie. If you just miss the tree on the right side, then there's a good chance you can ace it. And I love acing this hole. That's why I always throw that disc. This is a tough shot from here. So we're going to use our bonus stroke from hole 1. And we're going to take a par here and see if we can birdie out. So not a great example of that line, but it is a line that I love. And I love seeing people get aces with that line. This one, I like to go wide and fast with the roll rive. That's my normal aim point, but with this wind, I'm going to aim up and left a little bit. I'm going to go right to the post of that sign with the edge of the disc there. Get in there. Oh, we just missed it to the right. I really like the big, steep hyzer into this hole versus kind of more of a straight shot at like some people throw the glide sapphire. Get in there. Okay. A lot of people throw the glide sapphire, I think, and they do really well with it, but I just like coming in a little hotter with a sharper hyzer. I feel like there's a better chance for me to stay safe, but that's just me. Definitely more accurate with a sapphire, but it works for me. This one, slide to the left, glide, skip, rive, about a disc of anhyzer. You want to go just left of this big tree. Shoot. Oh, we just missed the trunk. That was kind of a little close, but that's exactly what you want to do. A little bit left of that would have been ideal, but we just missed that trunk and we are safe. This is that windbreak sapphire. I'm going to make sure I put plenty of anhyzer. You want to miss left if anything on this shot. You do not want to go right because right is usually out of bounds. This is the toughest hole in the course, so anytime you can get a birdie on this hole, it's a success, and that is the best way I've found to do it. If you have a skippy flippy driver, it's even easier, but it can be done fairly often with the glide skip drive. This one, I think this windbreak sapphire is going to be perfect on this line. I usually throw my roll sapphire, but I always wish it had a little more slide to it, and that's what this windbreak's going to give to me. Should slide right up. Oh man, that acted like a roll. If I need to ace run this, I'll throw the skip sapphire or the PD, and it skips off the bank and gives me a run, but then you can go long. Shoot, I'm not good with the fuse downhill. We got another one. We're money with the fuse during this round. All right, last hole. I used to struggle a little bit with this hole because I threw it too low and got a better line from Westy and Daniel. I'm going to slide right. We're going to do that windbreak again. Shift my aim point a little to the right because of this big right to left wind, and we'll just pull that straight down. And sometimes you got to worry about going long if you throw the glide sapphire. That's why I went with the windbreak this time, and that worked out perfect. So we're going to get right at 9 under par, get that 3-star, and hopefully this helps him get that last course that he needs so he can have all those 3-star rounds. So there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed Northern Breeze. 3-star my bag. I always love hearing back from these players. I think the longest it's taken one of them to get that 3-star after I posted the video was like a day and a half, maybe 2 days, but most of them are getting it pretty quick. So it's awesome to hear that it's helping people out. If you want to get in line for me to 3-star your bag, let me know. I'm definitely enjoying this series, and hopefully you guys are as well. And as always, thanks for watching me play some DGV.